Welcome to Kahani Bar, a cocktail of stories in English and in Hindustani. I am Payal and today's story is The Beggar by Neerja K. Every afternoon after the school bell released us like birds from a cage, we dashed down the lane towards home. And every single day like clockwork, there he sat, the beggar. Same spot where we had seen him in the morning, same ragged colorless blanket on which he sat with that same grumpy frown. Honestly, his tattered clothes were the color of the winter sky, matching the shades of grey of the stones of the wall against which he sat leaning, almost merging with it. We thought he was carved out of stone and glued to the pavement. He wasn't your usual, please give me alms, Sahib beggar. No, this man believed in minimalistic communication. He spoke only in syllables, huh, or sometimes If he was in a generous mood, we got a huh. That was it, the entire dictionary of beggaries. Of course, adults took him seriously. They dropped coins, sometimes even food into his palm. Aunties brought him leftover puris. Uncles tossed him 2 paisa like tips at a barber shop. He was there before the sunrise till the last light went off in the neighborhood. No one ever saw him arrive or depart. We children, however, were his sworn enemies. We made faces at him, asked ridiculous questions. Uncle, do you ever wash the blanket? Or when did you have your last bath? Do you ever wash your face? Hey, why don't you go for a haircut? And occasionally tried to peep into his mysterious little house. The house was tiny, ancient, and about as cheerful as a haunted cupboard. No one knew how old the house or the beggar was. He ignored us with royal dignity, which only made teasing him more fun. Years passed, but he never changed. We grew taller, our school bags heavier, but he remained the same ragged monument at the corner of the lane. Until one morning, he vanished. No blanket, no ha, gone. He simply wasn't there. The news spread like wildfire. The beggar is missing. Even the postman who usually delivered gossip faster than letters was stunned. I always knew that nothing was right about him. No one can spend a lifetime like he did, unless he was a spy or something, declared the postman. The baker added, we must be very careful at nights from now on. Who knows? He might have been an informer of some gangs of thieves, gathering information on each house in this neighborhood, and now they are ready to strike. By noon, the entire neighborhood had gathered outside his house. We kids missed school and the elders their work. Women abandoned their hearths and flocked in the lanes. Someone dared to push the door. It was open. Everybody fell on top of each other, wanting to be the first one to unravel the mystery of this house and its owner, even though they all knew that the room would not be big enough to hold all of them. Inside, they found him, bundled up in a corner, wrapped up lifelessly in the same ragged blanket that he had used for decades, as if he had simply gone to sleep and forgotten to wake up. Everyone sighed, everyone felt guilty, and everyone suddenly discovered they had always liked him. Funds were raised for his last rites. After all, who wants to be remembered as the miserly lane where the beggar wasn't even cremated properly? People came forward and made generous contribution. When the rituals were done, the elders returned to tidy his little house. Lo and behold, what did they discover? It left them gaping with shock and disbelief. The second room was full of clay pots, big fat belly-shaped pots lined neatly against the wall. Each one had a lid in place and felt full when touched. They lifted the lid of one pot and then the other and the other. Each time gasps of surprise escaped their lips and left them wide-eyed. Inside were coins, heaps and heaps of coins, paise, annas, rupees, all stacked like he had been running a secret reserve bank. It seemed that the story of Ali Baba and 40 thieves had come alive. On a small table was a sheet of paper turned yellow with time. The words scrawled in a hand that looked like it had wrestled with the pen. It read, "All these years I have been your savings account. All these savings are yours. I only held them safely for the education of the children of this locality. No child should grow up to be a beggar like me." Signed, the beggar. For a long moment, the adults were silent. Then someone chuckled. "Education fund, huh?" No wonder he never said anything. He was busy saving. We children looked at each other sheepishly. The man we had tested, the master of syllables, had been the biggest secret benefactor in town. From that day on, whenever we passed his corner, we didn't think of him as a cranky beggar. We thought of him as the quiet comedian who fooled us all, hoarding coins while grunting at our nonsense, and finally leaving us with the best punchline of all. That's all for now, folks. No wonder they say, don't judge the book by its cover. Signing off for now, this is Payal. Take good care of yourselves until we meet again for another story.